here well before the top of the hour as we give out live free picks here with the Pick Dogs crew from the primetime games for tonight. So let's take a peek and see who is in our lineup for today. We got Joe D'Amico from Las Vegas will join us. Alaninos. We got Joe Duffy. Chris Ruffalo will serve as co-host. Ron Romanelli will join us. And also joining a little later in the show will be Kevin Thomas. Will make an appearance on the drive-thru. All right, Chris, ready to roll?
Absolutely. Every day, ready to roll.
All right, let's roll on here. We got bringing our friend Joe Duffy. You'll find him over at Pig Dogs Premium. Joe, how are things going?
I'm doing pretty well. Look, we already determined the other Joe D is much better looking, but after hearing him sing on the pre-show, I might possibly be a better singer. He's better looking, but I don't think he's a better singer than me.
I would vouch for that. I'd vouch for that. All right, Joe Duffy, you're going to be looking at an NBA game tonight, 8 Eastern time, NBA League Pass channel. Wait a minute. Kevin Thomas, you sign off. Sign off, please. Kevin, you don't sign on until sign off until Joe Duffy. Yeah, this is what I was afraid of. Yeah, we had him. This is what we were afraid of when we booked the guests with the same passwords, right? I figured this was going to happen at some point, and it happened. So, Joe Duffy, if you could sign on again. All right, we're going to continue here on the drive-thru. Let's go ahead and bring in our buddy. What do we got here? Joe D'Amico. Let's go to Joe D'Amico to start the show off. Matter of fact, we got Joe Duffy back. So let's go ahead and bring Joe Duffy here. Woo! What a way to start the show. All right.
Okay. I apologize. You know what? I was connected to my. It was probably my fault. I was connected to my lesser Wi-Fi. All right. The game that I'm going to preview tonight. Look, we got a case where a road team that has dropped 3 straight is 324, 245, and 18. Also, away favorites off the loss under specific circumstances that apply in this game are 825, 654, and 23. Nice subsystem brings it up a little higher. Road favorites that have lost at least 5 straight. This doesn't happen much, but again, what are one of the things I always say? Listen to what the odds makers are telling you. Road favorites that have dropped 5 straight, a very impressive 67, 38, and 3 all-time in my database. We're talking about the Orlando Magic here. One of our top simulators and our top projection models did 10,000 simulations. They have Orlando covering 67% of the time. It looks like Evan Fournier is going to be back for the first time. I just saw he was confirmed. He will be in the lineup for Orlando. Meanwhile, Minnesota going to be without Karl Anthony Towns and Ricky Rubio. Yeah, the Magic, they're without Markelle Fultz, who's, whatever. I don't know if he's a huge loss. It's always a little tough when you lose a point guard. I'm not going to say, it's kind of the Ewing theory, so to speak, where it's basically a blessing in disguise. But that's not a big loss. But still, Orlando, probably the slightly healthier of the two teams, and they are a better team. And like I said, anytime we use the odds makers' knowledge against them, it's a good thing. Orlando W marks the center square.
All right, Joe Duffy here on Orlando Magic laying the 4 here against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Chris, it's been years for this Minnesota Timberwolves, and we just don't see any defense being played.
Yeah, well, I wish I could use my "there's no D in Minnesota" joke for the defense, but you know what? That's absolutely true. There's been no defense played. Even when Tom Thibodeau was there, who look what he's done with at least the Knicks through 10 games. They're playing defense. And I mean, it's a problem that's not going to be fixed anytime soon. You can get all the number 1 picks you want in Minnesota. This team, again, not going to play defense. I don't see it changing anytime soon. You feel bad for guys that, like Karl Anthony Towns, who have all the talent in the world, but they're just going to be stuck in purgatory until someone actually does something about it.
Absolutely. All right, Joe Duffy here on Orlando Magic laying the 4 against the Minnesota Timberwolves. All right, Joe, why don't you let us know what you have going on over at Pig Dogs Premium? Big night of hoops action.
Yeah, unfortunately, our biggest play was the game that was canceled, but still got 4 plays remaining for tonight that as of a couple minutes ago, looks like they're going to go off. So I got 4 plays for tonight, and on a nice little roll. I think it's 8-3 lately, and, like I said, things have been going better since the new year. So still 4 plays up for tonight at Pick Dogs.
That's right. Check out Joe Duffy over at Pig Dogs. Pick up that password tonight with 4 plays up there. Take those winnings, and why not apply them to one of those long-term passes? He's got a 7-day, 30-day all-sports pass. You get all of Joe's plays. That would be the NBA, college hoops, and, of course, the NFL playoffs coming up this weekend. So check them out over at Pig Dogs Premium. All right, Joe Duffy, as always, great having your show. Have yourself a great night, and we'll talk to you in a couple days.
Talk to you in 48.
All right, our buddy Joe Duffy here on the drive-thru. All right, we'll continue on here and bring on Joe D'Amico. As Joe Duffy says, the best-looking Joe on the show. Let's go ahead and bring him in. Joe Duffy, how you doing?
I'm great, Tony, but I think the odds are slightly in Joe Duffy's favor. I make him at 6-5, pick him that he is better looking than me. I think we need to have the viewers and the callers out there call and vote. Bigger than the regular Super Bowl. I think we would get more people viewing in on a matchup between who the better looking Joe D is. I think that's something we got to talk about in the next few weeks. But I'm doing great. Thank you for having me, Tony, Chris, all the guys. One of my favorite places to be is on the 3 p.m. drive-through show here on Pick Dogs, and thanks for having me.
Great to have you here, Joe. I know you'll be looking here. We had to make a quick change here because there was this cancellation. You're going to look at the side. We'll have the total a little later in this game, but you're going to be looking here at this Clemson and Georgia Tech game. Original sports networks will broadcast this one with Clemson laying about 1.5 to 2. There was a 1 earlier I saw on the day, but the total sits here about 129.
Well, Tony, Chris, I don't know if you realize, though, the king of free plays did it again, as I wanted another free release on the last drive-through show. It brought my record to 41-12. Now, sports fans, just think, if my free plays hit over 77%, what will my premium plays do for you? Well, here's another free play tonight, as Tony mentioned. This time we strike it rich in the college hoops realm as the Clemson Tigers travel to the McCamish Pavilion to take on who? The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Sports fans, look for Clemson to bounce back here, folks, following their embarrassing loss on Saturday to Virginia. That snapped their 4-game straight-up win streak. Now, if you recall, the Tigers began the season at 5-0, both straight up and against the spread, then dropped a nail-biter to the Hokies, then got on that hot streak. Guys, this is a team that recuperates and adapts very, very well. Georgia Tech, I'm not going to argue. They're hot too, but the Yellow Jackets are all offense. They can score. But believe me when I tell you this, mark my words, their numbers are padded, guys. Outside of an early December win over Kentucky, all of their big scoring performances were against nobody teams that me and the rest of the panel could probably run with. They must now face the 12th ranked defense in the nation. I mean, Clemson allows just 60.1 points per game. Take the Tigers here, and you will take your bookmaker's money. Get that from Joe D.
Joe D says take Clemson -1.5 against Georgia Tech. All right, Chris, you've been following this ACC?
I have, and this was actually a game that I actually really took a look at today. Didn't make the premium list, but you know what? I almost like it as much as the premium. I actually looked at the under in this game. I think it's a defensive battle. Georgia Tech averaging 80 points a game. A lot of that has to do with that 4 overtime game they played against Georgia State to start the year. I think we got a low-scoring game here. I think Clemson could I think this is a 3-point game, whichever way you slice it. I think it's first to 60 wins.
All right, that's Chris Riffle. All right, Joe D'Amico, you've been doing great work here on the show, as well as over at Pig Dogs Premium tonight. A lot of hoops action. Let's go ahead and put up the numbers here. We look here past 30 days, over 300 units of profit. That is all documented. Doing great work in the NBA and college hoops and the positive. What you got going on over at Pig Dogs Premium?
Well, sports fans, remaining on the board tonight, I have not one but 2 big hockey plays. My puck pick and my Las Vegas strip move, each for just $24.99 right here on Pick Dogs. And folks, I have been hot for over a month now, as Tony mentioned. So listen to Joe D. Take advantage of those discounts on the 1 week and the 1 month packages. They pay for themselves usually in the first day or so. I want you to stay with me. I want to make a believer out of you.
That's right, guys. Check out Joe D'Amico over at Pig Dogs Premium. Those long-term passes are the way to go. Those 7-day and 30-day all sports pass. You'll be able to get all of Joe's plays. That would be from the NBA, college hoops, the NFL. He's delving into NHL this season. When you pick up one of those long-term passes from Joe D'Amico, that's the best value over at Pig Dogs. You know that he's performing great here on the show, so check him out over on the site. All right, Joe, as always, great having you on the show. Great night in Vegas, and we'll talk to you in a few days.
Tony, Chris, everybody, good luck tonight. And to everybody out there, good luck and have a winning day.
All right, everybody, Joe D'Amico here on the drive-thru. All right, we'll continue on here with the show. A reminder, guys, to subscribe to our channel. Free picks every day. And of course, it all gets started here at 10 a.m. Eastern time with the morning show with Mitch. We got Chris, Rod Zawacki, Brian Bittler is on the show. Check that out. Of course, we've got in between our show and the morning show, we've got the computer show, which starts about an hour before us. And, of course, the drive-thru at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Of course, keep an eye for those MMA, UFC shows here. And I know on Wednesdays they're on, so be sure to check us out here. That's been out throughout the day. There was a card today I was watching on ESPN, so be sure to subscribe. And also, if you would, guys, give us that thumbs up, that like. We greatly appreciate it because it helps out the show, Chris.
Absolutely, it does. We keep saying it. It's right underneath the video. It helps you guys out. You can help us out. right underneath the video. Doesn't cost you guys a thing. Helps us out a ton. Helps us with the YouTube rankings. Helps us get our content out to people who may not have seen it before, or there's nothing wrong with anybody wanting to make some money and maybe haven't heard of us before. So help us out. Appreciate the thumbs up. We appreciate all the support. Love the Pick Dogs family. We're gonna put some cash in some pockets in 2021. So let's do it together.
Yeah, let's do it together, guys. Of course, as our friends here in the chat room says, our man Mark Belveld says, let's get some more likes. Yes, guys, help us out. Let's get those thumbs up. Greatly appreciate it. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-through and welcome Kevin Thomas to the show. Kevin, how you doing?
Good. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. All right, you're going to be looking at the total in this game. We had the side given out because of a late cancellation. We had to really scramble for D'Amico's pick. We got it in. You're going to be looking at the total here with Clemson and Georgia Tech. We got Georgia Tech and Clemson. It's of course, we talked about Clemson's favorite point half, but this one sits at a total about 129.
Yeah, 128 at some spots too. And yeah, Chris kind of stole my thunder there, but I can't agree more. The under has cashed 4 of the last 4 between these two, 2-2 in Georgia. You're looking at Clemson, who just got throttled by Virginia by 80 points. Now, if you go on any of the boards or look at any Twitter feeds or talk, any of these players, they're not even worried about the loss. They're more upset of giving up 80 points. This team was ranked nationally defensively, giving up 59.5 points, now maybe 60.1 after that. So I expect a full press. I expect them to just shut down Georgia Tech. And don't forget, Georgia Tech has been lying idle for 13 days. And we can look at Clemson and say, well, they sat for 11 days, and look what happened to them against Virginia. So I think Georgia Tech's going to come out rusty. I like Clemson, and I like the under.
All right, here on the show pick is Kevin said he likes Clemson. Of course, the under here at 129. All right, Chris, do you have any question here for Kevin? As I know you like the under as well.
Well, my first question is, how can I be such an idiot? Because I just looked at the email chain that we had, and then I sat there. I'm like, wait a second, open mouth, insert foot, because I realized Kevin was coming up next.
Great minds think alike. I like that.
I'm telling you, you know what, guys? We have a 2-for-1 capper thing out now, so you guys, myself and Kevin Thomas, we think alike, and you guys know it's a good deal at that point. But I guess my big thing is that we know we're in a COVID year. We're seeing a bunch of stuff that we haven't necessarily seen, back-to-backs played on the same floor. We're seeing back-to-backs played in different arenas, teams having long layoffs. How does that? How do you factor stuff in like that? Maybe if you have two teams that are both on an extended layoff, like say a Georgia Tech and someone else has been off for 2 weeks. How do you factor that into your handicapping?
Well, honestly, if you've been looking at my records for the past week, I've been getting killed, especially in the NBA. I mean, I think I'm right on the right thing. Then I find out 3 or 4 guys are sitting, and with these college teams going back to back, it's hard. But what I look at is. I try to look back into past history, like 1 or 2 days off or any time like that, and see how statistically they stacked up. And then I try to go off that. But if they lost, I'm leaning more towards the team that lost, looking at the points and stuff and seeing how Vegas is setting that line because, Drake's killed me a lot of times with, and Bradley with Southern Illinois. I mean, those lines, they just kept getting crushed, and you thought they were going to cover. So it's hard, but you really got to look at past history and stuff like that and try to find as close as 2 or 3 games in a row. But you have to stay on top of which players are out. If they're only going to have 7 on the bench, they're going to be exhausted. So, you really have to look at all that too.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And, of course, that's something to look at in some of the younger teams that we mentioned, I think, a few days ago. Chris, something you got to worry about here with this COVID. It's a totally different scenario for these first-year players.
Yeah, you can look at a lineup and then realize, you've got your mindset on one team thinking that, this team's a sure thing, and all of a sudden you find out that the star player has COVID or the top guy, he's out for a game because of a sprained toe. So Kevin's right on. You guys got to be on the injury report because that's one of your greatest tools. If you know that a player is a big part of a certain team and how they run through that offense, and you go into it blind and not even realize that they're missing, well, that might be where you flush your money down the toilet.
And my big thing is these NBA teams can use it to rest guys because they don't want to rest their stars at home. But if a guy has COVID, they can sit that star guy and say, oh, we had COVID tracing. He's got to sit for 4 days. And they're giving him a break and, not pissing off the fans by him not playing on the home court. So it's hard. I mean, like I'm 76ers, Embiid, injuries with the COVID. I don't know. I believe, they just wanted to give him extra rest against teams that really they don't care about playing.
Yeah. We've seen that with the Heat.
And I was going to say also, it also, you can't really, call the bluff because you're going to be like, oh, well, what, you actually don't think he has COVID? It's going to be one of those things where it's just your hands are tied at that point. Yeah, Adam Silver, or whoever wants to call people out on load management and issue out all these fines, well, they've got a loophole for a season. The guy's got COVID, and you can't really call him out on that. You can call him out on saying, oh, load management, you don't want him to hurt his knee or whatever, but I think that's just the world we're in.
Wow, it's world we're in, no doubt about that. All right, Kevin, we got a lot of hoops action tonight at the top of the hour. Why don't you let everybody know what you got going on over at Pig Dogs Premium?
You can still get on my 3-pack going right now, but the big thing, I lowered my 7-day package till midnight tomorrow night with all this stuff going on in the world, the COVID, the president and stuff, everything going on. I wanted to drop my price. It goes till tomorrow night, $129.99, 7 days. So you lock that in, you get your NBA, your college, and you'll get my NFL picks for this weekend and my NHL plays. So it's a great deal. After midnight tonight, it goes back to $159.99. So lock that in.
All right, you got about 6 hours to jump on that deal from Kevin Thomas over at Pig Dogs Premium. That 7-day pass has been reduced. As Kevin said, you get all of his plays for 7 days. The picks that he releases over at Pig Dogs Premium. All right, Kevin, as always, great having you on the show. And to have yourself a great night, and we'll talk with you next week.
I'll be back Monday, so all right, see you then.
All right, we'll see you back Monday. Go Packers! The Pack, of course, Kevin Thomas, big Pack fan. We talked about no excuses for the Packers this year, and we'll see if they can get through here next weekend in their game against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, let's continue our coverage here on the drive-thru. We're going to look at some college hoops with Ron Romanelli. Ron, how you doing?
Doing very well, Tony. Thanks for asking. Super excited about today's action.
Yeah, a lot of action from college hoops tonight, and we're going to be looking at an SEC game, 7 Eastern time, top of the hour. SEC Network to televise. Kentucky at Georgia. We've got Kentucky laying 4 with a total of 147.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that this has been an extremely disappointing season for Kentucky so far, but tonight I believe the Wildcats are due for a strong performance in conference play. Despite its 4-8 overall record, Kentucky's 3-2 in SEC play, with wins over Mississippi State and Florida, and those wins are more impressive each day, especially with Florida just beating Tennessee last night. And Georgia just plainly does not match up to either of those teams whatsoever. Kentucky's ranked 24th in defensive efficiency, while Georgia's ranked 92nd in offensive efficiency and 105th in defensive efficiency. We're getting a good price with a much better team because of Georgia's upset win over Ole Miss this weekend. Outside of that, Georgia has only one other win over a top 100 team, according to KenPom, and that was a Cincinnati team that I'm not high on either. So Kentucky should be able to produce a sharp 40 minutes tonight on the road here and win this game by at least 5 points. So I'll lay the points with the Wildcats on the road.
All right, Ron Romano laying the points on the Wildcats. We've seen this number uptick now to 3.5. We've seen a lot of 4s out there, so do your line shopping on this one. All right, Chris, Kentucky, one of those younger teams that we always talk about here, and the impact here with some of these younger teams in COVID.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Ron and I have an inside joke that whenever I use long words, I have a word-a-day calendar, and my word today is mercurial. This Kentucky team has been the definition of mercurial. You never know what you're going to get from this Kentucky team. We know they're Coach Cal coach team, and you expect big things from them year after year with all the turnover. But I think this is just a year where there's been too much turnover. And again, Tony, we use that word cohesion. These guys haven't been able to really get it together. They're a bunch of good players, but there's just no chemistry. So it's just going to be interesting to see how they get it together and try to make any sort of case to the tournament committee that maybe they deserve an at-large bid if they don't win the SEC championship.
Yeah, that'll be a big question mark with Kentucky there in this one. And of course, Ron, we're getting to the top of the hour, and a lot of good action tonight. What do you got going on over at Pig Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I mean, January has not been the nicest month to me by any means, but I'm all about the long-term successes. I finished up 650 units in 2020 for a reason. I plan on bouncing back in a big way the rest of the month and the rest of 2021. With the NHL now part of my repertoire, it's always a great time to grab a long-term package. And hey, it's not a bad idea to take advantage of our new multi-cap or long-term feature that we have at the website. How about you add a little R&R in your life with Ruffalo and Romanelli, and let us bring the winners to your wallets, and as Chris says, put some extra cash in your pockets. So, check it out at Pick Dogs Premium, and super excited about the future.
Absolutely. The new feature there, pick 2 cappers at a discounted rate. That's great work from Ron Romanelli over at Pick Dogs Premium. One of those long-term passes available. Of course, you get all of Ron's plays for the picks he releases, which would be NBA, college hoops. We got NFL playoffs coming up. So get on board with Ron over at Pick Dogs. All right, Ron, as always, great having your show. We'll talk to you on our show next week, but I know you're on the weekend show every day with Mitch and company on the weekends.
Yep, love those shows. I was able to go on Martin Luther King Day this past Monday, and that was awesome. But, I'll see you guys next week, and let's bring in some winners.
Let's get those winners. All right, everybody, Ron Romanelli here on the drive-thru with that thumbs up, guys. And remind you guys, get those likes coming in. Help us grow our audience. We greatly appreciate that. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. And it's now time for the co-host here, Chris Ruffalo, to step up to the center stage here. And, of course, you're going to be looking at this Big Ten game. It will be between Northwestern and Wisconsin, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Big Ten Network with Wisconsin, the home favorite, laying 11.5 against a Northwestern team that's been pounded recently, total 135.
Yeah, it's not that long ago that we're talking about this Northwestern team that picked up a win at home over Michigan on the road. Barely lost to Pitt, but again, I think that was their own volition. But then you sort of look at how they've been playing lately. Losses in 5 straight. 0-5 against the number. Each of those 5 losses have been by double digits. An average margin of defeat of about 18 points a game. Oh boy, it's going to be another long, long year for the Wildcats. Be happy to get a good football season, but this is where it starts to go downhill for Northwestern. Look at Wisconsin. Historically, at least from me watching them, it hasn't been a team that blows a ton of teams out. They play in a lot of close games over the last couple of years. But they're starting to really pour it on. They had a road win over Rutgers last time out. They beat Indiana in overtime, beat up on Minnesota at home. I just think that right now the disparity in form is just too great for Northwestern to really overcome. I can see Wisconsin sort of burying them over the course of the second half. I could easily see this being a 17, 18-point win for Wisconsin, something in the area, maybe 73-56, something like that. So let's take Wisconsin, lay the 11.5, and take that to the bank.
All right, Chris, on Wisconsin, another blowout loss for the Northwestern Wildcats in Big Ten action. All right, Chris, let's take a look here at the numbers. You've been really pounded. You crossed the 2,000-unit barrier now in college hoops, near 2,100 units of profit. That's documented over at Pick Dogs Premium number 1. What you got going on the site tonight?
For anyone who's been following me, Wednesday, you know what day that means. It means it's Whale Bet Wednesday. It's 5 of our biggest plays of the week for the college hoops. We had a package for that going off today, but you know what? I love the drive-through. I love being on the drive-through, so I repurposed some of those, tossed in a bonus pick that you can only get with a long-term package. We're going to do another 5-pack, only until the top of the hour, $39.95. I also have my 3 Whale Bet NHL picks for $29.95. Or, guys, hop on one of those long-term passes. We don't just say it for the good of our health. You get those plays. From me, you're going to get a bonus NHL play as well as a bonus and college hoops play for tonight. Or, you know what, 7-day, 30-day, you guys see that the progress is being made. Guys, we're going to put cash in your pockets. This is the best way for you to save money and make money at the same time. Get one of those over at PickDogsSportsChatPlace.com Premium. And like Tony said, take advantage of one of our new 2-for-1 capper offers. You get two of our fantastic handicappers, all the picks that both of them make. One great price. You guys can't go wrong with anything that we have over there.
That's right, guys. Check them out. Chris Ruffalo over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the numbers here from college basketball, document number 1. Why don't you take advantage of his repurposed pass for tonight? 1-day pass, get those winnings, and make that upgrade to a long-term pass over there at Pick Dogs Premium. You see Chris Ruffalo. All his plays are documented. You can check every pick he's made on the site when you visit his profile page. All right, let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Talking some NBA, the TV game tonight with El Nino. So let's go ahead and dial El up. El, how you doing? Al, we have you on mute. We need to get some sound from you. Can you? Let's see if we get Al Nino.
I think he sounds better.
He sounds better. Yeah, we got these. There you go, Al. Speak to us. We have no sound.
Yeah.
We still have no sound. You there? Speak up again, Al.
You hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. There you go.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on, guys. Sorry about that.
All right. Let's
not
all right.
muted or anything. I have no idea what's going on.
All right, let's take a look at the game you're looking at, Al. 9:30 Eastern Time, ESPN will televise Phoenix Suns and Houston Rockets. We've got the Suns here laying about 5. There's 5.5 in some places, total 219.5.
Yeah, go look for those places that are giving you the 5.5. So, I mean, this should be a pretty good game. The Suns are probably the better team on paper here. They got some good players: Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. Obviously, John Wall's still out here. He's expected back Saturday, but won't be making it for this one. Yeah, the Rockets coming off a pretty disappointing loss to the Bulls. That was Victor Oladipo's first game with them, though. He should fit in a bit better in the second one. I'm not sure they come out with the win here, but I do think they at least keep it close. Christian Wood's coming off a couple good games here too, so it should be interesting to see how well he does against Aiden. I think he has a decent game here, and I'm going to take the points with the Rockets at home. I hope they at least keep it close, if not just get the win out right here.
All right, looking for the Rockets here, plus 5.5 against the Suns. Not a whole lot of data here on the Rockets without Harden, although it looks a little more under than over. Chris, what's your thoughts on this new structured Rockets team?
I mean, they're building from a different base. Obviously, there wasn't going to be, a happy ending with James Harden, so at least make the most of it, get a bunch of draft picks, get, a young roster. You traded for John Wall, who looks like he's having a resurgence with his new team. I like the direction the Rockets are going. I think there's like I said, there's brighter times ahead for Houston. You don't have to worry about the disgruntled James Harden, and you can sort of move on from this. And like I said, you get a bevy of draft picks as well. So future's bright in Houston.
All right, future bright for Houston. And of course, El Nino's here on the Rockets, plus 5.5 against the Suns. All right, El, why don't you let everybody know what you have going on over at Pig Dogs Premium? We got a lot of action from the NBA and college hoops tonight. Oh, we got him muted again. We got to check your sound. You might want to start with a little bit. We'll go ahead and let everybody know. If you check out El Nino's over at Pig Dogs Premium, he's got those long-term passes, 7-day, 30 days pass up there. And of course, let's see. Here you again, El. Yep.
Yeah.
No, there we go. There we go. You got. I think there's some short. You're gonna have to check your wiring after the show. But let's go ahead and talk.
Yeah.
Go ahead and talk. Tell us what you got going on the site.
Sorry about that, guys. But again, so I got a 5-pack with my 3 best NBA plays and my 2 favorite college basketball plays of the night. I also have my favorite NHL play of the night as well, if you want to check all those out.
All right, that's what El has going on over at Pig Dogs. Maybe get one of those one-day passes up there. Of course, we'll get you out of here before the top of the hour. Plenty of time to get those plays in from El Nino's. All right, El, as always, great having your show. Have yourself a great night. We'll talk with you tomorrow.
All right, see ya.
All right, everybody, El Nino's here on the drive-through. All right, we'll continue on. Guys, reminder, if you happen to join us late on the show, we recap every play from the handicappers on the show at the end of the show, so be sure to check that out. And as a matter of fact, now it's time for my pick for today's show. And we're going to look at the NBA. This total between the Pistons and Hawks going under 220.5. Look, it's been 9 straight unders for Atlanta. They've improved defensively, holding teams to 43% shooting, just over 32% from the three-point line. The Pistons are the worst shooting team in the league, just over 42% from the field. We know that the Hawks are dealing with several injuries to rotational players, even Trae Young looking to play through some soreness in the heel. So my pick here will be the Pistons-Hawks under the total of 220.5 points. Chris, a little difference here from this Hawks team from the year before.
Absolutely. Funny enough, when I saw this pick in our little email chain trying to figure out what we're doing before the game or before the show, I thought, is he nuts? But then I looked at it and I did a little bit of digging, and he's bang on. I mean, Atlanta playing much improved defense from what we've seen over the years from this team. This is definitely a concerted effort on defense from Trae Young and the rest of that team. And Detroit, man, you kind of wonder what's going on in the Motor City. But you know what? I think you're 100% right, Tony. I think the first to 100, if they get there, wins this game. So I'm on the under with you wholeheartedly here.
All right, we're going to be there on the under. Guys, check out Pig Dogs Premium. I have a 3-pack up there, and also my long-term passes, 7 and 30-day pass over there at Pig Dogs Premium. So go ahead and check that out. All right, we'll continue on here on the show, and now it's the time to go ahead and recap the picks from today's show. All right, El Nino's will join us here on the segment. It began with Joe Duffy. He was on the Orlando Magic laying the 4 against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Joe D'Amico says Clemson Tigers -1.5 against Georgia Tech. Kevin Thomas, Clemson, Georgia Tech to go under total of 129. Ron Romanelli, Kentucky, laying the 3.5 against Georgia. Chris was on Wisconsin, laying 11.5 against Northwestern. El Ninos, Houston Rockets, plus 5.5 against the Suns. Yours truly was on Pistons and Hawks under 220.5. All right, let's go ahead and start this with Chris Ruffalo. Other than your pick, which one do you like the best?
Well, I stole his thunder for a reason. I really like that Kevin Thomas play. Clemson, Georgia Tech under 129. I think that's the first to 60 wins that game.
All right, let's go over to El Ninos. Other than your pick, which one do you like the best?
I'm going to go with Chris. It's Wisconsin minus the points there. I think Northwestern's just, getting blown out lately.
Yeah, I have to agree there with you as well. I like Chris's Wisconsin play here, laying the 11.5 against Northwestern team. As you said, that just has been blown out of the court. All right, guys, that's another edition here of the Drive-Thru. Be sure tune in tomorrow. We're back here at 6 p.m. Eastern time with the Drive-Thru, with these live free picks from the primetime action. And, of course, don't forget, it gets started in the morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time with the morning show. You got Mitch, you got Chris Ruffalo, Rod Zawacki, Brian Bittler to get you started in the mornings at 10 a.m. East. And then, of course, right before us, an hour before us, we got the Computer Pick Show, and then it's the 6 p.m. Eastern time show. It's the Drive-Thru. And, of course, keep an eye on the MMA shows as right before the cards, as we had some shows today with the card on ESPN2. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a group look at the group for tonight. Give a nice wave. Goodbye. You guys have yourself a good night, and we'll talk to you live